2015 was reportedly a very good year in tourism for the Bahamas, and that's in keeping with global trends.
The Director General of Tourism for the Bahamas attending the 64th Annual Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association meeting says tourism globally continues to outpace growth of every other sector economically.
Now, with statistics reflecting this trend, the Tourism Director General says the Bahamas is owning its share of the economic pie, as Carla Palmer tells us.
Director General of Tourism, Mrs. Joy Gibberlew, reports that in 2015, 1.19 billion international stopover tourists spent $1.26 trillion in the global economy. She says that's a 4.4 increase over last year and says there's every indication that 2016 will outpace 2015.
That is just great news for us. Amazingly, the growth in the Caribbean has surpassed expectations. So we have seen a 7.4% growth in our region. People always say, yeah, well, that's Cuba. And yeah, Cuba accounted for a lot of that. So Cuba was up incredibly 17.5%, followed by Aruba. But the Bahamas and Jamaica, even though we're trailing, I don't think we're doing so shabbily. We're keeping on the trend that UNWTO had targeted for us.
According to the Director General, the country's appeal as a destination is growing. Last year, she says, 1.48 million stopover visitors came to the Bahamas and spent some $2.38 billion.
Visitor arrivals, we know from all our source markets, they increased, with the exception of Latin America, and that's continued for the first half of 2016. The family islands have been doing really well, and so it is, you know, when Hurricane Matthew decided to pay us a visit in October, it literally knocked the wind out of our sail for Grand Bahama, for North Andros, the southern part of New Providence. And while our thoughts and our hearts are with all those people, you know, we are grateful. First of all, that no one lost their lives, but Nassau and New Providence, the tourist sector and the tourist product really is on the northern portion of our island, and it was spared, so we were able to continue for the most part.
Additionally, she says airlift to the Bahamas is also playing its role.
New non-stop service on Delta from Atlanta to Family Islands in particular, that's Marsh Harbor, Abaco, and North Eleuthera, and they have outperformed the expectations of the airlines, so much so that within a very short period of time, the frequency of those flights was increased. But in addition, we have new flights to Nassau and Silver Airways from West Palm Beach, Tampa, Jacksonville, and Naples, Fort Myers. And the great thing about this is Silver Airways looked to see where opportunities existed within the Florida market, and they went into markets that were perhaps underserviced. In addition, we have additional flights from Fort Lauderdale, which began in August of this year, on JetBlue and Southwest Airlines. And if anyone's had to book a ticket this December, I think you will be pleasantly surprised. It's the first time in as many years as I can remember where prices are competitive. So competition is great.
Additionally, as of December 17th, Gibberlew says Sunwing will commence a non-stop weekly service from Winnipeg, Canada for the entire winter season. Industry officials recommitted efforts to ensuring this trend has no end. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.